live, and he's going to be informing us on what's going on the ground in Congo. And he's going to be informing us on what's going on in the displacement camps and the needs of the displacement camps right now. He put out a video, I think, earlier this week talking about how well there's a lot of needs, but one of the things they're trying to build is to have an initiative to talk about toilets, to build some toilets that are sustainable in Congo, in some of the displacement camps, because there's a lot of disease that's being spread. It's not very sanitary. So he's going to tell us how we can participate, how we can help.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you for setting this up. This is really something that we've been working on for quite a while now, and we've been actually trying really hard to get the more than just the Palestinian voices, right? So we've been doing our virtual protests, really focusing on the Free Palestine movement, and we wanted to make sure we were highlighting all of the other ongoing genocides. And so we have every intention of getting guests from and guest speakers from all of the different places. And hopefully down the road we can also do them in Spanish as well, so we can be more accessible to even a wider audience. And if we can get funding, we're going to try to do it with ASL interpreters. So we have a lot of ideas and things that we want to make this happen. But the main reason that we have this is because protests aren't available. Not everyone has access to all the information. Not everybody has closed captioning at events. Not everyone is masking at events. And so we're trying to create a way for us to make things more accessible for our community. And so between Jay and I, we were really excited to start building virtual protests. And this is an offshoot of virtual protests, which we are calling Voices on the Ground. So rather than it being us sharing the experience of being in an in-person protest digitally for accessibility reasons, we are having a conversation with people on the ground. So and people from the communities that are impacted by these ongoing genocides. So just to give you a little bit of information here, virtual protests offer an opportunity for us to amplify the voices and make a difference in the struggle for justice and for freedom. And Voices on the Ground is an offshoot of virtual protesting, and these live streams will have guest speakers with firsthand accounts of their experiences, their families, their struggles in their countries, and they will be sharing resources, information, and helping fundraising efforts. So if you see on the screen, I'm not sure it's big enough for you to see, but it's donate@focuscongo.com. If any one of our moderators can type that into the chat, that would be really helpful. And our agenda today is just going to be, once we have Pappy on the call, we're going to do a quick introduction. Actually, you and I can introduce ourselves here. And then we'll have that conversation. We're going to hand it over to Pappy and focus on what they have to share for everybody to listen. And then at the end, we will share resources and close out the event with collective action. So a quick reminder for us on the call, and I'll reiterate this when Pappy is here. Let's put our phones on Do Not Disturb, which I still haven't done yet. But if the phone gets interrupted, if your call gets I didn't think it was going to freeze. When the call gets interrupted, you might get an echo. Happens, we need to leave and come back. Oh, there's Pappy. Wonderful.
Hi, Pappy.
Hello. Hi.
How are you? Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you okay. Thank you.
We were just
Hello.
setting up and telling people what's going on before you showed up.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Please go ahead. Continue. It's
Do you
good.
want to? Thank you. Do you want to finish, Yesenia?
Absolutely. I was just saying, like, if Pappy, if you have your phone on Do Not Disturb, that way it doesn't, if you get a phone call or something, it doesn't mess up the call. But if it does happen, you would just have to leave and come back, and it'll take away the echo.
Okay.
Welcome in.
Okay. And for everybody in the comments, I'm so sorry. I'm missing a lot of comments. I know usually I'm pretty good at getting to them. Today is probably an exception. So I appreciate everybody being here. Thanks to everybody. We're here to learn about what's going on in the Congo, and to hear from Pappy who's there and who is doing a lot of really awesome work to see how we can help, to see how for a lot of us, this is a lot of new information. So we're trying to be informed and understand what's going on. And so this live is to help give us an intro into that process. If we can go around, I think we're all here now. If we can go around and share who we are, our name, so that people in the audience can familiarize themselves with us and any orgs that we're affiliated with. That would be great. So hi, my name is Jay. This is my page. I try to talk about community and mental health and raise awareness in the Spanish speaking community as well about what's going on in different places like Palestine, like Congo, and like Sudan. So I appreciate everybody being here.
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Jasenia. My pronouns are she or any pronouns, and I'm one of the co-founders of One Free Community. One Free Community and Calling Up Justice co-produces, so this is also being streamed on Twitch. And so if you're not here live, you can go back and watch the replay there as well. And on my personal page on Neurospicy Networking, I talk about neurodiversity and disability justice. And as part of One Free Community, we are a BIPOC-led community center, digital community center and third space for community building and mutual aid. And so you can check out more about us on onefreecommunity.com. And I'll hand it over to Pappy.
Hello everyone. My name is Pappy Orion, and first of all, thank you for having me here. It is a great privilege. I'm really, really grateful for the work that you're all doing, and yeah, for also standing for Congo because what has been happening there, the voices of Congo need to be amplified as well. And so, yeah, I'm Pappy Orion. I was born in the Eastern Congo. And yeah, I left Congo when I was a little child. I was recruited as a child soldier, and I lived on the street of Cape Town as a street kid. And family took me off the streets, and I managed to go back to Congo and saw the situation, and really that pushed me to want to help the people of Congo, my people of Congo. And that's how we started Focus Congo, the organization which I founded. That's about 13 years ago. And we've been working, we started by, giving help to kids, often children that have lost their parent during this conflict, which has gone on for 3 decades. And so we have three different orphanages in Eastern Congo, and we also amplifying the voices of young Congolese by organizing festivals in different cities, and also sending young kids to school to learn about the history and stuff. But we also have been so focused on what is happening right now in this fresh war by really helping the people that are affected by the war. And for you who don't know, 8 million people are internally displaced, and we've been there really building shelters, giving support to the raped women and giving food and such a thing. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much, Pappy. We appreciate it. Um, I know Lala is here. I don't know if Lala, do you want to introduce yourself? I think I think she might be working, but Lala's here to help bring her audience to hopefully bring more awareness to the live. So thank you, Lala, for being here. Um, thank you, Pappy. I've been watching your content for a while now. I've been informed on what's going on because of your content, because you're on the ground, because of the numerous ways that you help. I mean, I know you provide medical assistance. I know you provide education. I know you provide the displacement camps, which right now are really necessary. On top of that, I saw this week that you were posting talking about you're trying to construct toilets for a displacement camp because that's not accessible. And so this is really important because for us out here, we're just getting into like an awareness of what's going on in the Congo, right? It's very unfortunate. We should have known about this a long time ago, and we're just starting to understand. And on top of that, we're understanding how our governments are involved, how Rwanda is involved, and there's so many parts to this. And so we appreciate you. Can you tell us a little bit about what we should know right now? I know there's a lot of what's causing some of the displacement. What's causing the displacement? What do you want to share about that? What, you're on mute right now. I can't hear you.
Sorry,
It's
sorry,
okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
I got carried away. But yeah, the situation in Congo is very complex right now. But the major part in creating the conflicts in Congo is, of course, our neighbor, the country of Rwanda, which is, of course, being used by bigger powers like the US, the UK, and other major powers as the European Union supporting the government of Rwanda to keep on destabilizing the region. And so with that, there is a group, a rebel movement called M23. Um, that is one which is causing chaos in eastern Congo. But this movement is supported by Rwanda, and on many accounts, people have testified seeing the soldiers of the National Army of Rwanda fighting with this group. And so the people, the area that they're occupying right now contain a lot of minerals. And so they have, I believe, the strategy is to remove all the people from the land and be able to exploit the land, use the minerals, and who knows if the people will ever go back to their home. And so as we speak right now, there is about 8 million displaced people, and all of these people are coming, are living, they live on farming, also on mining, and right now these mining sites are being used by these rebel groups, and yeah, it's a devastating right now, and people being unalived. We don't have a number of how many people because we don't have news. We cannot get access to this area. We only have access to areas close to us. And as we speak right now, the situation is not even getting better because we have the rebels at I think 7 kilometers from the city of Goma, and also they have a kind of connection between the city, the South Kivu region and the North Kivu region. So all the people from North Kivu, if they want anything, they have to access it from Rwanda. So people from North Kivu are very dependent of Rwanda, and as you understand, Rwanda is the one who's foiling this entire war. So it's a very complicated, very complex, and even as myself as I'm there, I cannot speak. I cannot speak about Rwanda because you don't know who's gonna listen to what you say. Otherwise, otherwise you will also be a victim like those people. We have in also display, but the problem is also the Congolese government is also not helping the situation. They're not doing the best to try and help the people that are displaced. They're also partnering with some arms group that have been responsible for committing atrocity, some of the greatest atrocities, some of the rape, some of the gruesome killings are committed by those guys, and you see those guys are partnering with the government, and these guys are close to the camp, causing havoc. We don't know who's who in these camps as we work there, and so we try to do our best to try and bring help our people, but the situation in Eastern Congo is critical.
You bring up a really important point because I've seen a lot of people talking about how a lot of people upset right? That they're not seeing the content, for example, that they're getting from Palestine, where you get the live videos, which realistically they shouldn't be having to prove themselves, right? They shouldn't be having to prove themselves. But you bring up a really good point, and that is that we're not seeing that type of information because it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous for you to be talking about it.
Yeah, and I think we have talked before about that. You know, should we be bringing the kind of content that they bring out of Palestine so that people can listen to us? And I think out of our own, as we talk together as a community, we could get those contents if we want. But if we want to keep on talking and keep on raising awareness, we should remain the way we are. We should be bringing the content that we are, because that will put us in a lot of danger. We are in a very different situation as a Palestine, because we've got on one side the government, and we have the rebel groups, and we have Rwanda, which is like a few kilometers close to us. Even though here on TikTok, when we have lives, we have uh, people, spies from Rwanda watching us and really trending us. So we have all of those situations where it is possible for us to do that. But I think you said it right. We shouldn't prove that what is happening in Congo is a is a genocide, and is been happening for 3 decades. And because the major media outlets of the world don't care about Congo. I don't care about. They didn't say anything about it. Even the people that we thought we will talk about it never talked about it, because also some of these media, their bosses are benefiting from Congo, so they wouldn't be talking about what is happening there. So um, I think it is important for people to look at history and to see what has been happening there in Congo. Congo has known peace since 1885, since Leopold the second took Congo as his own property, and we continue with with different atrocities from King Leopold to Mobutu to Kabila to right now. People have been suffering, but this one has just been very particular, because for this three decade we were born into these conflicts. I myself experienced and recruited as a child as a child soldier, and I'm still seeing it. I'm still seeing those kids that are recruited even today and try to bring them back home, but the situation is difficult. And you having this week, last week we had a reports about. I think last week alone we had how many girls, around 20 girls, raped girls, because they went into the bush to look for wood to sell so that they can find food, and and they got captured in there, and they got raped from the age of 12. One of the girls was 12 to 75 years old. Is not normal. But the other thing that I want to pinpoint is that if anyone wants to bring help to Congo, Congo is not blocked. You can get help to us, but we're not getting that help. If you see the amount of people that are in this displacement camp, is is I don't even know what to name it. It's devastating. It's horrible to see the hungry children, to see sick children, to see women, to see uh, millions of people without food, without water, without a basic need. You know, is not the way is not locked, so people can come and help Congo.
Mm,
So it's a very different case to Palestine. I think the biggest problem is that just people don't believe, they don't believe in Congo. The cause of Congo is not being amplified as much as other conflicts. But what I want to say, I want to thank all of you who are doing something, who are speaking about Congo and organizing lives like this. This means a lot to us, and we are very, very grateful for those few who are looking at Congolese people and say that they are also human.
Mm. Absolutely. I mean, thank you so much. Thank you for so much of the information that you're sharing. I mean, I think it's important for us to understand that this is our responsibility. This is our responsibility. Our government is deep. Our government and our corporations are deeply entrenched in the Congo. And the thing is, it feels, from what I've been learning, it feels very intentional because it doesn't take that much time, just a simple Google search, and you get a whole list of all of the ways that we are involved, that have been involved. Amnesty International has reports, Human Rights Watch, they all have like lists of reports, investigations into how we've been involved, the human consequences of these little, of just children, right?
Yeah,
Over 30,000. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and I think there is a Valencia, who is also Congolese, who's creating also now on TikTok, just mentioned also because the different is people, all of us, we are also benefiting directly to what is happening, because I mean we won't be doing what we are doing now if it wasn't for the Congo. You know, all the tech industry, they're all benefiting, and I think this is playing a major role, because if all these tech companies can acknowledge that Congo is important to what they're doing, I think we'll have some kind of exposure, and people will get to know that Congo matters. Um, I think maybe looking at how many 80% of all the coltan, you know, that powers your mobile phone, your laptops, you know, electric cars, all these minerals are from Congo, and without Congo, there's
Mhm.
nothing really. And you enjoying creating content, you know, calling your families, and yeah, doing whatever you're doing, you're playing games, and it's just because of Congo, and we have to acknowledge. And I think all of us as creators, we all, if I can say that, we owe Congo something, you know.
Mm.
And
Absolutely.
what we what we owe Congo is just, you know, to be part of creating this awareness. We shouldn't just be looking and say, okay, they are there in Africa. Then, you know, I don't care so much. I'm just going to keep quiet. No, you are closely involved in what is happening. You know, so
Oh,
yeah,
right. I mean, it's 100%. It's every email that we send is thanks to the minerals of the Congo. Every email on any technology, any message, any phone call that you get anywhere in the world is going to be because thanks to the minerals that come from Congo. And so this very much feels intentional. It's not that hard to realize that keeping this a secret is very much the benefit of a lot of Western countries, to the benefit of a lot of corporations. We just had federal court rulings saying that Apple, and what was it, Google, corporations like that don't have any responsibility to the children who are now facing serious health consequences, right, because of this. I think you're
yeah,
absolutely right. And the reality is, we in the West absolutely are tied, not just because of the human consequences, right? The suffering of the people in the Congo should connect us to you. That
mm,
period, right? That's the most
mm,
important part. And so
mm,
it's time for us in the West to wake up to the fact that we have to do something about what our government is doing, that we have to do something to hold these corporations accountable. And at the end of the live, we will be partaking in a joint action together to contact our representatives, to show people how to contact our representatives, to sign petitions, so that we can start actively participating in telling our representatives this is not okay, because we need to bring visibility to what's happening in the Congo. And so I want to ask you about what we see a lot about in terms of what I've read, and at least in articles and things like that, is what we talk about, the how the government's involved. We talk about how there's a lot of rebel groups, but you were touching a little bit earlier on the people in the displacement camps. I Can you tell us more about that? what is the situation there? You said you're helping with about 3 camps. Is that what you said? How many people are we talking about?
Yeah. Well, the number, like, is this is the one of the, if not the greatest catastrophe, humanitarian catastrophe of our lifetime, really, because we were looking, we were there when the aftermath of the genocide in Rwanda, and the people that came from Rwanda to seek refuge in Congo, and that was huge. But we were looking at back then, what happened back then, and now. If you look at what is happening now, it's not compared to that. The people in the displacement camp are much, much more. Like million more. But the difference is that back then, all the government, all the international community, all the organizations, they were coming in to help those refugees from Rwanda. But now you have no you have a few organizations that are there, but you don't see any impact. You don't see impacts really. And right now, as we speak, I think we have about 13 different camps. And these camps, they're not like one camp is in here in this province, another one is in a different province. These camps are like within 1 kilometer from each other. Maybe the one which is maybe further is like 5 kilometers from the let's say maybe 10 kilometers. So we have them close to each other. One the Kanyaruchinya camp, for example, I think has got about right now. I think the statistics is getting to 1 million people. One of the camps, one of the biggest, and 45% of those people are children. So 1 million, 45% are children. How many people are those? If you really look, this
It's massive.
is crazy. And the reason why actually I wanted to build a toilet because we went to this one camp, and in this camp there were 5,000, 10,000 people, and we looked at them and we talked to them. We brought some food, and then we realized I didn't have a toilet there.
Mm.
5,000 people, 10,000, 5 to 10,000 people that don't have toilets. And so what they were doing, so they're just going where they're building their tent, they will dig it. They were digging little holes and they will do the business in there, and then they will cover it again. And this is happening. That imagine the space is also very small, 10,000 people. Because this is basic need. Everyone goes to try like at least once, twice a day, and how many holes they're digging there. And I remember there was this little girl, 12 year old, and she was digging, and she was about to do her business, and she saw people were looking at her, and she couldn't do it. She
Mhm.
couldn't do it,
Mhm.
and I saw that situation. I was just like, "This is not human,"
Mhm.
and I gotta do something about this. And I know my effort is gonna help a few people, but at least I'm helping someone. And so we decided we wanted to build at least seven, no, six toilets there, six toilets, and and 3 showers for these people.
Mm.
And we want to do this next week. We want to be able to do this. So these six toilets and 3 showers is going to cost us probably around 7,000 US dollars. That's why. And yeah, we know we have faith, and I have faith on my people and people that are watching us that we're going to be able to achieve this in this coming week. But for me, that was just an example to see. This is just 5,000 people, but this one camp has got almost 1 million people. And other camp, some had 500,000 people, some had 10,000, some. So 13 of them. And so, and Sister Valencia just also come up.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
I was trying to I was trying to speak, but no one was hearing me. It was very strange. But got Valencia on so that we can, say hi and have anything you wanted to say too as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let Brother Pappy Orion finish his that.
Yeah. Thank you, sister. I appreciate. Yeah, but the sister Valencia is also an encouragement because she's gone through this as well, and she's been supporting and really speaking about what is happening in Congo. And yeah, Nusoma Sam, we are together in this. So exactly when you see, I was telling my friends because I have two kids,
Mm,
and when I step in these camps, when I look at a kid, I see an image of my child.
mm,
And when I see that, that's when I realize, so this is not just a person, a displaced person. This could be my son, you know. This could be my sister who this is happening to. This could be my mother. This is my brother. And so when I put myself into that shoes and know that this is human like me, this is a family member, that's when I realize I have to love these people first before I start serving them. And that love is what really pushing me to see them as human, and to see them as you know as people with hope, with aspiration, and they want to become someone, but their dream has been just quenched because of us in pursuit of the new smartphone, new automobile, uh, you know, uh, yeah, dressing nicely, and so and so going back to the camp, I think if I'm trying to describe to you what it feels like and what is happening in there, you wouldn't be able to understand. But for me, it's just mm, being someone who has lived in a camp before
mm,
and seeing the situation now, it's just, it scares me. It scares me to know that these people, they're not cared for. You
mm,
know, that these people, they don't have, these children, they don't have, uh, they're not dreaming about, they don't have a vision for the future. You know, they just want to, if they can get food, or if they can, if freedom, that's what they're looking for. But they're not thinking about, okay, I want to become a doctor or something, but I want that that to come back. I want our people to start dreaming that, I want peace to come back so that children can start seeing themselves as uh, uh, creators, as doctors, as president, as all of these things. And we have been able to, as Focus Congo, to give a glimpse of hope with our friend Joy, who's on the ground, who's who is also from Dominican Republic, but also from the U.S. And she has dedicated her resources and her life to contribute to help the people of Congo. She's there every day, and so that has been an encouragement for me also to know that I'm not the only one who's who's doing work there. I'm not the only one who's seeing what is happening. But there are also people outside that say that, okay, Congolese people are human, and
yeah.
we need to care. Yeah.
Thank you, Pappy. Valencia, I'm going to let you talk in a little minute. Just let me really quickly let our audience, just remind our audience that I'm going to comment it here below. Please, what we would like to also do later, we're going to do a group action contacting our representatives, but I'm writing in the comments right now where you can go and where you can go donate to help Pappy help the people in the displacement camps. Okay, you can go to his page. His links are in his bio. His links are also in my bio. You can go through Focus Congo. You can contact them. You can donate using donate at Focus Congo through their own website. You can donate directly. You can use PayPal. They also have Google Pay. There's a number of ways to help. Okay, we're also going to help provide information about providing shoes through the Timonera Foundation. There's an address specifically for that. That is also in my bio, in my links, as well as providing things like shoes, medication, clothing for people in the displacement camps. There's also an address for that. If you cannot donate financially, but you can donate these other things, there's also an address for that. And I believe, I'm not sure if that second one is in my bio, but we'll make sure to get you that information. And if the mods can help me comment that in the comments, I'm not sure if it'll fit, so that we can share that information, donate. Every little bit of contribution helps. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead, Valencia.
Hey everyone, I just did come in when you all were in the middle of a conversation, so I'm just gonna add based on what I have heard. I just wanted to share that Pappy Orion and I do have an experience with what's happening in Congo. We have lived experience. We know exactly how it feels like to be in those situations. It does break my heart to see how the world have responded with what's happening in Congo, given that it has been happening for so many years, so many years, but yet we barely get any media coverage of what's happening. And I think we all can agree to an extent that the reason behind it is because the media, the countries that are not showing what's happening in Congo do benefit from what's happening in Congo, right? Like these big tech companies are making billions of dollars from minerals from Congo. So if they do show what's happening, then it contradicts what they're doing. So it doesn't help, right? But I feel that it's our responsibility as a society to fight and continue to bring awareness. And also, not just awareness, but again, have an action behind our discussions. Because if we just bring awareness and we're not doing anything about it, we are not really doing much. It's one thing to have the information, but it's a different situation what you do with that information now that you have. What Pappy Orion is doing is amazing in the sense that he's not just here talking. He's here to show you what he's actually doing. He's on the ground. He's talking to these people. Plus, he has that lived experience. And I just wanted to bring this point home. While we are advocating for Congo, we need to be extremely careful. Because I feel like when we speak about help, you need to be aware of where you're sending your help. Because there's a lot of nonprofits that do take the opportunity to use the situation for their own personal gain. So if you're going to donate anything, please do your research, learn a little bit about the organization, see their work. If you see their work, then you know your dollar, your donation, your effort is going somewhere where it's needed. I just wanted to bring that to the surface because I feel there's a lot of new nonprofits that are much bigger that are actually claiming to do the work, but they're not doing the work. That's why I appreciate Pappy Orion because he's showing you, he's there, he's getting his hands dirty. I feel that with Congolese people and what's happening, the society have taken the humanity out of us. I feel that they don't see Congolese people as human. There's this level of distancing that's coming with this whole situation where it doesn't affect us. In a way, it doesn't affect us because they're too far, right? We can't relate to them, so therefore, who cares? I hate comparison. I hate trying to compare this to what's happening in Palestine. I hate that, but I feel that they're in the same situation. It's a genocide and a genocide. There are women and children who are dying, who are being raped, who are suffering. Same with Congolese people. So when we try to justify one as, oh, well, this is different because it's annihilation, and this is different because there's a government that's functioning, that narrative alone is very harmful because immediately we're dismissing the pain of those who are going through painful experiences. We're dismissing the people who are in these camps suffering on a daily, who doesn't have fresh water, food, clothes, who doesn't have safety, right? Yeah, I personally have had a hard time processing what's happening just because it triggers me in so many levels, and I tend to get very emotional, and at times I have to pull myself back. But I would urge all of you who are watching and who are listening not to only bring awareness and just comment free Congo, but actually do something. Do something about it, right? Like talk about it in your communities. Because sometimes word of mouth travel faster than internet, right? If you're able to talk to your family, your friends, let them know. Because there's a lot of people who doesn't even know where Congo is at. That's the sad part. I've seen this a lot on my videos where I see people commenting, "Oh, we don't see what's going on. We don't see what's going on." And that's kind of frustrating because like we all have the tools. I mean, we already have these phones that Congolese people are suffering and dying, so we can have accessibility to them. Like Google is free. You don't have to pay for it, right? Like just do a simple search, you know, educate yourself. I feel like that narrative of we don't see, show us, it's also harmful because we have to think about the integrity of these people who are suffering, who are vulnerable, right? So educate yourself, do your research, do what you need to do to make sure that you are contributing to humanity and society. That's all.
Thank you, Valencia. No, I think you're absolutely right. Everything that you just noted is really important. Um, Making sure that you're going and contributing to the organizations that you know they're actually doing the work on the ground, not to organizations that say they're doing the work on the ground and don't actually contribute to what's happening. There's too much suffering on the ground and there's a lot of need. It's important that we do our research when we're talking about contributing. Okay, that's exactly why the links that are on my bio are specifically people that I've spoken to who are Congolese, who are doing the work, who are teaching me about what's going on. Okay, but it's really important. Valencia is absolutely right. It's on us to go figure out what's happening. Who is our government funding? How are they funding them? Are they actually holding places responsible? Are they actually responsible? One thing we're seeing right now very much of in the news is understanding that our government often manipulates information away from the truth. And so it's important that we start informing ourselves, that we start forming communities, and that we start talking about these things and doing them responsibly, contacting our representatives like we've been doing for other places to do it for the Congo, because it does not make sense that the most mineral rich country in the world is the people are struggling to the extent that this is unnecessary, right? Ethical mining. I mean, there's so many things that can be done, and it's on us to make sure that they are protected, that they have a voice, that they are safe, right? So thank you, Valencia. Absolutely appreciate your voice. So Pappy, can you tell us about some of the initiatives that I've seen a couple now. I know that you're trying to raise funds for these toilets. What is the best way for people to contribute? And are there other things specifically or other initiatives that you have going on right now?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. We've got different projects, ongoing project right now on the ground, and the toilet is just like very urgent. We have to achieve that now because yeah, it's needed right now. But we have projects, the project that we ongoing project on building emergency shelters. So we're building emergency shelters because we realized that many people were getting sick, even to the point of dying, because they didn't have proper shelters. They were just coming there. They put some of them were sleeping in mosquito nets. So this was their cover because they don't have anything else. Mosquito net that cannot protect you from rain. And we living in a rainforest, so it rains almost every day. And so I was there in the camp, and one day I wake up. It was 4 o'clock, and I headed I headed to the camp, and I go there. It started raining early in the morning, and I saw children. I saw like 2-year-old running out. It's raining at 4 o'clock in the morning, and just I started. I started crying.
Mm.
I couldn't take it. I saw that, and I'm like, I'm gonna do something. So that point, we've been working in the camp for like a year, providing food, doing rotations around the camp, and we have known some people. So we were like doing some research and see who were the people that were in dire need, and we found those people, and so we were going. We started also finding this different needs, and that's when I decided.
Is there a noise happening?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, and that's sorry, and that's when I decided to start building emergency shelters. So we've been building this, and as we continue building, we have built right now I think over 100 shelters,
Mm.
and uh, as we finish building, we get new people that are coming to the camps because there is a new attack somewhere, and so we are really forced to build more shelters. So as the funds support get in, like, and that's how it just goes. Support comes in and goes like that because we have this project ongoing. We need to provide food for the people, not only for the people that are in our shelters, but we're providing food for a lot of different people. For the people that just came, also we give them some care packages with food, with some sanitaries, and of course, the project we're running with Joy, the medical care project, and so Joy is giving medical treatment to today it was 200 people. And sometimes we have 300 people, and these people they have like wounds, uh, there's a lot of children that are malnourished. There are women, a lot of women that have been raped and have infections, and of course, also many women develop fistula because some of the women are raped by three different men, and so that is devastating to see and to see the damage that they're going through. And so there are all of these organizations, big organizations that are there in Congo, and they say that they're representing and they're giving people medical help and all of this. But we found that many people that go to the clinics that really don't receive proper medical care. And as Focus Congo, we treating people. Sometimes we don't have much resources. Sometimes in the back of the car, sometimes in a small office that we have, and we put a bank together, and that's what. And we have seen a tremendous impact that we have made in the lives of the people that came to us very, very sick, and a week, 2 weeks, they're really healthy. I could give you a story of this young girl that we found in a displacement camp, and she'd been given an injection, and so her whole head was kind of head wound, and we didn't know what was happening. And so they told us she was given an injection at one of these clinics that are operated by this big international organization. And so the parents already thought the child was going to pass away, and they didn't have any hope anymore. And this day we came to the camp and they brought this child. And as they brought the child to us, the child started crying, and the mom took the child back home, and we decided no, we need to follow this child because this is urgent. So we went and looked at the child, and we gave the child a treatment, and every day we would be there just treating this child for 2 weeks. We were going there, and if you see this child now, it's
Mm.
incredible. It is really encouraged me big time to see that even a small help that you give can make a greater impact. And when the grandmother talked to me and told me this child, we thought in the next few days she was gone. They
Mm.
thought they were already like praying and just saying okay, saying the goodbye, and we just happened to be there, and with really basic medical care, this child, uh, like she didn't need much. but because of the negligence of this bigger organization, and they just take this person, and they don't. Many of them, they don't see them like human. The black people, the Congolese people, we don't care. Just give them. And it's been a culture which has been developed for years, because I mean they've been there. It's like Congo is like the playground, like you know. So we do what we want, and we don't care about the human aspect in this. And we are there. We These are our brothers and sisters. This is our children. This is us, and including Joy as well. Joy has become one of us. She's a Congolese. And guess what? Anyone on this platform, anyone who's here, you can be part of us, even if you are not present in Congo, but you can represent us as well. I think, like my sister Valencia said, you have to first see us as a human.
Mm-hmm.
If you, if you really care, see us as human first, and then that impact will come after. Do some research, see what has been happening in Congo. You have people that you can ask questions. You have my sister Valencia there. There's Mama Africa in the comments as well. I mean, even you yourself, you've been talking about Congo. I remember you contacting me way back, and you started talking about Congo, and it, it took just the courage to contact someone like me and say, what is happening in Congo? Could you give me some information? Can I repost the video that you did? Because you saw that what is happening there is not normal. And I think that's what I would like to ask everyone on this who's listening to us. Please, 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 see us as a human. This we are part of this human race, and Congo is providing so much to the world. It's a gift to the world, and I think it's time for the world also to see that Congo does exist, and without Congo, this world that we are living in will be backward. So that's all. That's what I can say.
I mean, I see Mama Africa here. I've seen you on live with her often. If you want to come up, Mama Africa, let me know, and so I can invite you. I think, I mean, what your impact is undeniable. Honestly, it's undeniable. Just a simple just a simple view at a couple of your videos, of Joy's videos, the impact is undeniable. It's a cycle of there's not enough access to water, or there's not enough access to clean water, or they don't have shoes and the ground is covered with rocks from right an active volcano, and that causes an infection, and then there's not the adequate medical care, and something that is so simple that would otherwise be addressed with proper medical care becomes a massive issue. And when there's not enough resources, babies, massive infections in the eyes that I've seen that Joy cleans up, like the head wounds or like eye infections that would otherwise, simply be taken care of with our visit to a doctor, they don't have access to it. And there's a lack of water, there's a lack of food, there's a lack of a place of where to live. I saw a video of number of children having to sell things to build their own shelter. The video that you posted where somebody asked the little girls having to go into the forest to get wood for firewood, asking if they're afraid, and they said something along the lines of you can't be afraid when you're displaced.
Because to add to that, because all these girls, they know that going to that forest every day, even you find out that some of those girls I was talking to, they have been raped by going to that forest to look for wood, but they have no other choice. They need to go there. And then her response was like, a displaced person cannot be afraid, because what am I gonna eat if I'm afraid? Even if I get abused, I will push myself into the hands of the enemy, and whatever happens, as long as I bring something home. and this is what we're trying to eradicate and to provide at least something to some of the girls to never go to that forest again.
Mhm.
Uh,
Be safe, right? To not
and get, yeah, and be safe and get exposed to those monsters in that forest. So yeah.
100%.
uh,
I mean, this is a human issue. This is a women's issue. There's so many issues here, right? The displaced people don't even just get to take care of their mental health, the immense amount of trauma that they're going through because they have to be surviving every single day, right? So there's various levels of trauma going on here, and we are responsible because these corporations or governments are involved, but because you matter. The Congolese people matter, right? There shouldn't be just because our government is involved. We should care. We should care because there's humans on the line. There's lives on the line. Period. Right? It's important that we start having these conversations around like that type of conversation because we're connected simply because we're human. We have to start caring, right? Mama Africa, do you want to go ahead and say something?
Hello, hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, Pappy Valencia. Thank you for having me up here. I was just passing by and listening to, and I saw my people on here. I would just like to add to what Papi has mentioned already. It's the fact that the bigger organization, I think another factor that we have to add to that is that they don't offer resources to even the, let's say, the hospitals that we might have available on the ground, to, because if you don't want to do the work, you can offer the thing so other people can work with it. So they don't even do that. So they hoard resources. There is available resources that they have. So we do have clean what syringe or the things that are simple that Joy can access, but they don't want to give them out, and then they don't use them at the same time. So you kind of like, why do you have them here if you're not going to use them?
Wow. I mean that makes it all the more like that makes no sense. Why would they do that? Like that makes it all the more atrocious their behavior.
Correct. And that's what makes it to the point where when they start to quote unquote help, or the once a month where they decide to help, they will pick and choose who they want to help, which will be like maybe 10 people, I don't know, a very small number. And they kind of pick like a sickness or an infection, quote unquote, that they're going to work on. So everybody else, you are in your own, you figure it out. That this is for the past 3 decades, this has become the norm. And sometimes they will employ, if I can say, I don't know, because I think it's also exploitation. They will employ like new doctors and nurses who are Congolese, who finish school and they're looking for work. So they would just have them under those same organization, but they don't actually work. So you just kind of keep them there, which is also another reason where it's hard to find somebody who can just leave their domain and go to where Joy is, because it's not that we don't have people who have studied medicine at home. They are, but they are under these contract working for this NGOs because it's an exciting thing. Why would you not want to work? And then you realize that you can't even get out to go help your own people. That becomes a problem. And this is also a thing that's happening all the time.
Yeah, I think I want to even tell you what happened today.
Oh,
Just
no.
before you continue, Mama Africa.
Go ahead.
Today, so we've been approached by a collective of some young Congolese dancers. They wanted to celebrate. They want to celebrate something. I think it's the World Dance Day, and so they picked us. They want to do this at our village, at Focus Congo village. But the problem is they had the migration, international migration organization, which belongs to the UN.
Mhm.
And then they have what is called the Institut Français, which is absolutely an organization belonging to France and is a colonizer organization. So as they got there, they decided, no, we cannot do it this year. The younger people, they want to do it there at our village. But then they say it's not inside their jurisdiction, so they cannot do it there because we can see a few meters there are these soldiers that are there. But the one point that they forgot that we are every day there, working there, and there are people living there. So they say, no, we cannot work here. We're going to work there where it's safe, there down there where it's safe. And I was like, man, this is sick because these young people, they had a good intention
Mm-hmm.
to put this event where the people are and to work with some people that are actually doing work. But because of this corrupt or organization or self,
Mm-hmm.
how do I, how can I, which word can I use there? Um, they're saving themselves. Like they decided to remove it there because if they put it there and these guys say no, then they won't be able to get the money that they were promised to be given. And this really pissed me off to see that our young people are really succumbing to this, to the regulation of this organization. And yeah, I just wanted to add to what you're saying because I mean, they cannot do anything.
Right.
They own everything. They're like the big when they pass by with the big vehicles and they rent the biggest house. They get paid a lot of money. So everyone want to be part of them, and you don't want to lose them. So
So the organizations are okay being there and talking about being there, doing work on the ground, but they won't allow because of bureaucracy certain things. But they're okay with you doing it. They're okay with you being on the ground, risking yourself and everybody else, and they'll make up these excuses and take the credit when they're talking about being in the Congo. That's
And they're also okay as long as the certain line that Pappy organization or any other local organization do not cross. Because if you get to a certain level where you have this much visibility, they start to look at you like you are somewhat of a competition because you have a few people, not even a large percentage, that will start to question them. Because in this sense of the children not being able to go there and basically perform or show their artistic abilities, it's like you don't want them to go there because you're telling them it's not safe. So it's not safe, right? But in your report, you're not going to report that until maybe 5-10 years from now, after the numbers are just increasing every single day. And that's why it is so important to talk to the people on the ground if you have access to them, or find the people of that nation and ask them, because so many times we see headlines that are coming from these giant NGOs, and you will sit there as like, what does that mean? What do you mean just now you are finding out about XYZ? This is something that's been going on for 10 years. You've been there since we started. The first time we encountered them was in 94. So what do you mean we just find out what's going on here and there? It doesn't add up. But that's the news that will go internationally, that will travel fast, and everyone will stick to that headline. And it's hard to combat that because they have a bigger platform, they have a bigger reach. So far there's so much happening, so many moving parts, and nothing can be done about it because they're still very much active. They get paid heavily. 9 times out of 10, they do nothing all day. Like Pappy said, they just drive in their car with their armed men that they have with them all the time to just intimidate people, regular everyday people. This is the norm, and they've been doing this for 3 decades, if not more.
I just to add to that, it's also a financial exploitation, right? They know exactly what it means being in that space. And if they do shoot the video there, there's a higher chance that people are going to see the reality on the ground, and they don't want that. and it doesn't look good on them because they're getting the big buck. They're making money off of the situation that's happening. They have the resources. So it wouldn't make sense for from them. For me, it makes sense. Obviously, for us, it does. But for them, it wouldn't make sense to shoot from there because they contradict the narrative that they're trying to put out there for people to see.
Thank you.
It's just never ending. Like
Jump in. We just wanted to jump in and say we are at the hour mark, so we can keep going. I just wanted to let you know that we are at an hour.
Okay, thank you. It's just there's so many layers of wrong. There's stuff that I've read that I'm learning, but you're adding so much more to it. And the fact that, for example, you're saying like the amount of patients that Joy has to see on a given day, just one person that you're impacting, and these other organizations that are taking the money to help, and the impact. It's so
Yeah,
it's so upsetting.
yeah. Sometimes, yeah. If you see, that's why even yeah, Joy herself, she's tired because I mean, and she now discovering the situation by herself. She is a different dimension when you really get into it and really get to see exactly what is happening there. And she's been to this other organization and probably interacted a little bit and saw what is happening. It is incredible. And in fact, they will tell you to your eyes if they know that you're coming from. They attempt to tell me because they don't know what I'm doing because they know they say, okay, you're coming also from the diaspora. What are you going to do there? You know, and people they attempt to tell you we could fund your project, and then you give us half the money. And so there is also those factors. So they want to fund you and take half of and so um, it is crazy to know that people say I'm going to help someone and then take that money and put it in your own pocket as well and say that and at the end you will write a report and say I've helped so and so person. Um, but if you are human and
Mhm.
step there in Congo and see what is happening there. Not even like not even stepping there. Just see what is happening there because we underestimating the situation in Congo, and I was also underestimating the situation. But when I saw it, I started seeing this is crazy. This is not human. If this continues, um, the same thing the world have done when they were talking about forgetting what happened in Rwanda. I tell you, people in few years, people will be reminded, and and they will remember that we told you that this was happening in Congo, and you did nothing. But my fear is that this has been happening for too long, for 3 decades, and people are still don't know what is happening, you know. And so my fear is that it's just going to continue like this, and it's going to get to 100 years, and people are still suffering, and we are living a comfortable life, and we're using our electronics, and we doing all we do best, and the people of Congo will be exterminated. And I think that's what they want. That we are wiped out of this of this planet, and they can take all the minerals they want and do what they want. But if you are a human who can really closely watch what is happening in Congo, it's not because I'm Congolese, but it's because I'm human. I could be living my comfortable life where I am.
Right.
But I see what is happening. I hear the cries of these children. How can you, in your mind, listen to a 12-year-old girl, little girl, precious girl? Not, let's even go below that. I've talked to 9-year-old girls that have been raped. Uh, As a human rights activist, if that should preoccupy you,
Right.
you should. But we don't have many people talking about this,
Mm-hmm.
and this, as I was talking yesterday, the statistic of children dying in a displacement camp every day. Nobody's talking about that. I'm seeing statistics about other countries, and other conflicts, and of course, I don't like to compare, but we have to be looking at what is happening in Congo because it's human as elsewhere,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And those statistics, we need to look at them as well and see that okay, humans are dying in Congo in a displacement camp, on the war front. People are coming to the refugees, arriving every day. We talked to this lady who lost all her family members, 7 people, and this is not even a month as the bomb dropped and she lost everyone. She was alone. She didn't know how she was going to make it out of without her family. And so we have situations like that every day too.
That's, I mean, it's horrendous. It is. It's this should not, this is to the extent that this shouldn't, we should all be paying attention. I've seen it, and I try to make videos in Spanish to make the Spanish speaking community aware of what's going on, since I've learned about this. And I get all the time comments about people who in Latin America who don't know are not even aware that nobody's talking about this. So you're right. There's a massive lack of awareness, and it's on us to talk about this. Before we end the live, before we let you go, I had talked to Patricia Orti, who she was talking about. You also, and I think Joy has talked about, you're seeking medical professionals to go to help. Can you just kind of share a little bit about what you need, and if there's anybody in the live who can share that information, how can people contact you if that's something that they're able to do?
Mama Africa, do you want to contribute to that?
Sure. Yes. So as far as like medical professional, based on what Joy is encountering every day, her reality every day, she emphasized so much on anyone who has any medical professional background, you are welcome to come. But she would really prefer to have trauma nurses. Majority nurses is what she's looking for. It got to be trauma, ICU, ER, EMT. It's one of those things that it's an emergency every day, every time. It's not, you don't even have to document this. So it gets to the point where you're not writing anything down, you're not writing a report. So this is an ongoing ER rotation, basically nonstop. So if you have experience in that, or you understand the dynamic of that, you won't burn out as fast, which is what she's looking for, because she's like, it's exhausting. And Surgeon, if you can come, that is fantastic, because they are also needed. And this is also why medical equipment are needed. This is why Focus Congo is trying their best to create a space in which, if we end up getting a surgeon, they can stay there, because sometimes they have to cross over on the other side of town to go to the hospital, to the bigger hospital, where you can be able to find a few items that can help you as a surgeon. But if you have any knowledge, you have any experience in any form of emergency medicine, you are definitely needed on the ground. And this is also, and I know Pappy just explained his fears. My fear is that I'm having a hard time searching in other regions of Congo and finding other camps. This is just one place we are talking about. One place with now 13 camps, about 8 million people plus. So we have about 26 regions in Congo. So if you start to think about that, I don't think even your mind would not allow you to go that far. So yeah, anything you can donate, anything basically. And also, you mentioned the video you do make them in Spanish. They are Congolese people who are in Latin America as immigrant. And for the people that are getting this information as new, if they can find them and talk to them, they can also give them information. Because I remember watching Congolese people that have lived for about 10 plus years in Brazil at the Olympics of 2016, and they were participating in the sport, and they were like, yeah, we flee the war in Congo. And I'm like, I don't think we realize how long and how spread out we are. Yeah, there were so many, and they showed their community, and I've been keeping up with them ever since then, and realizing how far my people have gone. And when they explain their journey, how they got there, it is, you're like, how did we survive all this? So Congolese people at this point, I believe they're everywhere. I think if your country is accessible to immigrant, you will find, or refugees, Congolese people are in there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. So we're getting to the end of our live. I want to thank our guests. Thank you so much, Pappy, for being here. Thank you for making the time. I know you're busy. You're doing a lot of stuff. Thank you for being here, for informing us. Thank you, Valencia. Thank you, Mama Africa. We really appreciate your contribution. We really thank you so much. It's on us now, audience. Please go to inform ourselves, to donate at focuscongo.com. Okay, any little contribution helps. Remember, you can also donate clothes, shoes. I have those in my bio. Please follow Pappy Orion. Please follow the other creators. Follow their story. Little bits of information here and there, right? YouTube, there's so much information out there for us to start understanding what's happening, to start contributing. These aren't massive complex issues. There's structures in place, okay, that make these things happen, okay? So it's important that we start connecting the dots. Is there anything else you wanna say before we let you go, Pappy?
Yeah. Last, I would like to thank you guys for really taking this initiative and inviting people, and I call all the people friends of Congo. So we need the friends of Congo, and we are very grateful for you. And yeah, please keep on raising awareness, greater awareness, because Congo needs you, and then you need Congo as well. So together we can make even a better impact. And yeah, much love to you all.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, Pappy.
thank you guys. Yeah.
We're going to let Pappy go so that they can leave. It is late at night in Congo, and we are going to do a quick community activation. We're going to do a resist bot, and then we will end the live to make sure that we're respecting all the people who are helping us make this event possible in the background. So again, thank you for everyone joining. Thank you, Valencia and Mama Africa. We're definitely following you now. And we will be having more of these also for Congo, Sudan, Yemen, Tigray. As soon as we get connected to people, we're going to have more of these events. So I will pass it back to Jay to do the resist bot, and then we will end the live. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, so I'm going to disconnect you three. So we're gonna do an action with our audience where we contact our Congress members to make sure people know how to contact Congress members and tell them about Congo. Thank you so much. I'm going to disconnect you three. I appreciate you, and I really hope that if we can set this up at another time, and if this helps, by all means, okay? Please know that we're here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Valencia. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm just trying to breathe. That was.
Absolutely. If you want to drop Lala as well, and then we'll make this big on the screen, and that way people can read on the screen.
For sure. I don't know how to make. Oh, I do. I do.
There you go.
I didn't know I could do that the entire time. Okay, everybody. So before we head off and end the live, it's important that we know how to, just like we heard in the live, to contact our representatives. Okay, contributing, donating to donate at focuscongo.com is really important. Donating anything in terms of shoes to the Tibernera Foundation, which is also in my live, is really important. But another step that we can take is contacting our representatives, okay? And there's a really easy method that you can do by text in your phone, okay? And so we're going to show it. We're going to walk you through it right now. I'm going to take it slow because I usually talk really fast. So I have to remember to go slow. And the text is on the Yesenia showing it right here, okay? And so what we do, okay, you can do this at any moment. It takes a couple minutes in your day, okay, to just message. There's a service called Resist Bot, okay? And what you do is you text the word resist to the number 50409, okay? Text the word resist to the to 50409. I'm going to do it literally as we're going through this. As we're going through this, I'm going to text. Okay, so I text the resist to 50409, and it gives you the option of writing a manual letter, of writing your own, of writing a letter, of choosing a letter that they already have. I have never done it, choosing a letter that they have. I always go manual. I always write my own message, but that's an option, okay? So once you text resist, it's going to give you an option of what type of letter you want to send. I'm going to choose manual. Okay, this is all by message. It's then going to ask you for your target audience, okay? You can text Congress, you can text your state representatives. Right now, I'm going to type in Congress. I'm going to contact my federal representatives, okay? And it might ask you at the beginning, if you've never used this before, it might ask you for your address so they can locate your representatives and pull up that information to send the letter to your representatives, okay? So it might ask you that. It won't ask you that after you do it the first time. I've messaged Congress. It's going to tell me that that I can include a message, okay? I can compose my letter to my representatives. It says do not include an opening, closing, your name, your address. You don't have to do anything. You just have to type in the text that you see on the screen. Okay? I'm going to read it out loud. It can be a short message, it can be a long message. This is just a little bit of guidance in case you kind of want guidance on what to say when you're writing to your representatives about Congo. I am a U.S. citizen writing to demand immediate action and an end to aggressions in the Democratic Republic of Congo. As my representative, you must advocate for the Secretary of State to withhold assistance to countries that destabilize the Congo, as is stated in U.S. Law PL 109-456, and hold Rwanda and Uganda, among others, to account for violating international law, and put an end to the brutal violence, death, and displacement of the Congolese people. I call on Congress to regulate U.S. corporations and how they obtain cobalt, coltan, and other conflict materials and minerals from the Congo, and to immediately provide adequate humanitarian aid and supplies to the affected people of the Congo as they die of preventable diseases, unclean water, and lack of food and basic necessities. Okay? I know that's a little long. That's just a little bit of guidance.
And if you're on later, or you're gonna do this right after, preferably you could do it now, but if you can't, this is on our onefreecommunity.com or One Free Community on our website, on our Instagram page. All of this whole graphic is there.
It's available on so One Free Community, you can go to the links, okay? After I send the message, whatever message you want to send, you send done to let Resist Bot know that's what you want to say. And then it's going to send you a copy of the letter so you can see it, okay? So you can see a copy of the letter, so you can confirm if that's what you want, so you can edit if you want to, or if you add more, or just start all over. It gives you options, okay? I'm good with my letter, so I'm gonna message send. I like what I see. I'm going to choose to send it by email. And that's it. You're done. Okay? Resist Bot, you should text resist to 50409. You choose Congress to send a letter to your representatives in Congress. You send a text message with what you want the body of the letter to say, and you review it and you press send. Okay, it takes just a couple of minutes every single day. It's a really quick way of addressing that. In my bio, I also just added a petition that Action Network created for Congo to contact your representatives. Okay, so you can do resist bot. You can also sign the petition that Action Network has written to our representatives to ask them to stop participating in what's going on in the Congo. Okay, to hold them accountable for how our government is participating and contributing to what's going on in Congo. You can also sign the petition. It's in my bio in the Congo section. Okay. On top of that, tomorrow there's a webinar on Zoom where the some of the workers, the people who are mining in Congo, whose health is being affected, whose community is being devastated, they're going to be talking in a webinar tomorrow on Zoom. If you want to register for that, that is in my bio as well. I just added it. Another creator, Sadia. Thank you, Sadia, for helping me find out about that. If you want to register, you can go also to my link to register for that to hear what they have to say tomorrow in this webinar. Okay, and that is about it. Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. Am I missing anything, Yesenia?
Thank you everyone for joining. This is part of One Free Community and Calling Up Justice streaming on Twitch, so you can watch the replay there as well and share this. And information is on the callingupjustice.com or onefreecommunity.com to find out about this and future events. You can also sign up for the email list to get notified, or follow onefreecommunity.com on TikTok, Instagram, and more places. So really, thank you so much, Jay, for putting this together, for helping us get these guests. It was amazing that we had other Congolese guests join us halfway through our live. That was perfect serendipity. And I'm just really excited that we're going to be doing this in the future for Sudan, Yemen, Tigray, and hopefully also an event in Spanish, as both of us speak Spanish. So that would be super amazing. I'm really excited for what we're going to bring. And thank you everyone in the audience for participating, for sharing the live, for liking the live, and for following us on this activation. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
One last reminder, I also make content in Spanish about Congo for the purpose of getting people in the Spanish-speaking community to know about what's going on in Congo. I make that as I'm learning. I try to educate the Spanish-speaking community on what's going on in the Congo so that we get involved. If you are a Spanish speaker, if you speak any other language, please make content about what's going on in the Congo. Message me if you need a little bit of guidance. It's really important that we start raising awareness and that we all start participating in this, and we start sharing it with our families and have conversations about this. Okay, that was it. Thank you again. Thank you, One Free Community. Thank you, Calling Up Justice. Claudia, Alec, thank you for being here, everyone.